Thank you. And I do really apologise for not being here earlier when people expected me to be here. No excuse. I had a mishap. I want to just talk a little bit different, perhaps, than the talks you've heard so far today, perhaps even tomorrow. Actually, it's called "Saving the World One Line at a Time." My name's Asim Hussain. You can find me on Twitter as Jawache. You can find me Jawache, not Joache, Jawache. I'm actually Jawache everywhere. On Twitter, on GitHub, on Gmail, I've got YouTube, youtube.com/Jawache. That's me. I'm everywhere as Jawache. You can find me on my website, asim.dev. I got the dev. Got it? I know. Yeah, I didn't even pay extra for it. I just got it. And there's no Asims out there that are really big into development. Maybe I don't know. I'm also a cloud developer, cloud advocate at Microsoft. And so I'm pretty environmentally conscious. I care a lot about the environment. I have for a long time. We do the standard stuff that perhaps a lot of people do. We recycle. Most of the time I carry a big water bottle, but I left it in the hotel, so I've got this plastic one now that I'll throw away afterwards. But I'll carry a big water bottle, I'll refill it. I try my hardest to offset the impact I have on the environment. My flights get offset with credits. I try my hardest to do good stuff with the environment. Yeah. It's my son, Micah. Yeah. Something about this picture makes me think he loves his dad. Don't know why. But yeah, Micah, my son. So he's a year old now. And something my wife said, or a piece of advice I was given when he was first born by a friend of mine. He said, Asim, do all the nappy changes. Do the nappy changes, right? My wife's breastfeeding. She was like, she's going to have all this wonderful quality time with your son. The rest of the time he's going to be crying or doing something. Like, take the nappy changes. The nappy changes will just be you and your son quality time together. I was like, I'll take it. That's good advice. That's great advice. And like my wife turns around to me and goes, we're using cloth nappies. Yeah. Not disposable nappies. No, in a disposable nappy, you do a shit and you chuck it away as quickly as possible. Cloth nappies, yeah? You've got to deal with shit, actual shit, each and every day. You don't take that cloth nappy and you throw it away. You take that cloth nappy and you take the shit and you scrape it off and you do all the thing. And this baby, who's got babies here? Who's got babies? Who's got kids? Cloth nappies, any cloth nappy users? Oh, round of applause to these people, please. Round of applause to these people, cloth nappy users. They're probably going to agree with me when I say that you just get really used to shit, right? 8 times a day, get very used to it. It's fine, I'm very comfortable up here right now. I'll be on calls, in meetings, and somebody will be like, Asim, what's that on your face? I'll be like, it's just some shit. It's all right, don't worry about it. Let's carry on, all right? That's what we do. That's what I do. I deal with shit each and every day. Many times a day, and I'm happy to do that for the environment. Like, I'm happy to do that, right? Cloth nappies, dealing with shit. And then about 6 months ago, it just occurred to me. It literally just occurred to me one day, like an epiphany. It occurred to me. I think I was probably having an argument with somebody on a call about some architectural feature, about some application I was building. And it suddenly occurred to me that even though I would sit there and I would argue for ages about code reusability or reducing bug or improving performance or SEO, like some feature, I'd argue for ages to optimize some aspect of our application. And yet I'd never, not once, put up my hand and said, actually, well, if we go this way, it's actually better for the environment. Right? So weird, right? I'm willing to deal with shit, be covered in shit every day, and yet I was unwilling, or I'd never even once thought to do anything in my tech space, nothing in it, to make the world a bit greener. How weird is that? Right? How weird is that? Super weird, I thought. has the slide not moved forward? What happened? Did you see my son before? I moved back? Ah, okay. And so I started asking myself the question, what is the greener option? Like, what is it? And it was really interesting because I thought somebody would give me the answer. But no one gave me the answer because it's actually it's a very hard question to answer. Like I've started, the last 6 months I've been spending a lot of time figuring out, what does it even mean? What does it even mean to be green in tech? Like, what does it mean to be a green application? What does one of those things look like? So that's what I want to talk about today. Is I'm going to spend a fair amount of time talking about why now. Why are we talking about green stuff right now? Why is it important? Why are you seeing a lot more of this stuff in the news right now than you saw a couple of years ago? Like, what's going on? And I want to talk about what does green mean for us as technologists. What does green mean for us, right? And I'm also going to talk about what can you do today. Like today, what can you do today moving forward that you can have a positive impact in this space? First question, why now? Right? Who here has been to one of my talks before? A couple of you, right? A couple of you. I like quizzes. I like audience interaction. I have questions. You may be wrong. Okay? You may give an incorrect answer soon. Very stressful. There have been 5 mass extinctions on the planet. It's a pretty depressing question, this one. There have been 5 mass extinctions on the planet. Mass extinction is where more than half of life, all life on the planet has died. 5. The first one was 445 million years ago. 67% of all life died. What was it? I heard global. I'm going to say climate change. Global warming. There you go. Climate change, right? So essentially, a lot of in this one there was a lot of eruptions from volcanoes, spewed up a whole load of gases into our atmosphere, changed the composition. This is over a couple of hundred years. Changed the temperature. Life died. Next one's 375, 360 million years ago. What was it? Climate change. It's going to be an easy one, right? This whole one's going to be pretty easy. Yeah, climate change. Another one. Next one is called the Big Death. It's called the Big Death. 95% of all life on Earth died. All life. We almost didn't make it. It's called the Big Death. What was it? What was it? Oh. Climate change. No, asteroid. It was an asteroid. This is the asteroid. If you hear about an asteroid killing out all the dinosaurs, this is it. Right? Came in, destroyed everybody. Destroyed everything. Right? Now things are going to get tricky, aren't they? Right? What's the next one? What was that? Is that some political, I don't know. Who thinks climate change? Who thinks asteroid? Climate change. Right, last one. Last one. Who thinks climate change? Who thinks asteroid? They're both. They're both that one. Whole load of climate change. Asteroid came along, kicked over the edge, died. Right? And we'll say we're now actually part of another one, because there's quite a lot of life dying on the planet right now. So whatever you think, like, it doesn't matter whatever you think, it kills. That's just a fact. It's just a fact of life, it just kills. Right? It's serious stuff, this. What is it? So basically, the greenhouse gas effect is, there are some greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide is one of them, and if they exist in the atmosphere, when the energy from the sun comes in, it gets trapped just like a blanket, and it heats up the Earth. That's the greenhouse gas effect. We need some greenhouse gases, we need some in the atmosphere to keep it at a good temperature. But if you have too much, it gets too warm. Right? There's a concept called CO2e, carbon dioxide equivalent. So there are actually different greenhouse gases in the world. Carbon dioxide is the most common one, but something like, for instance, methane has 25 times the greenhouse gas effect of carbon dioxide. So what we do is we put it under a common unit, which is CO2e. So 1 ton of methane is actually, we call it 25 tons of carbon. That's why you keep on hearing about carbon, 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 carbon. We're all just making under a common unit. And here's the thing, here's a famous a study that was done. 97% of all scientists agree that climate change is happening and that it's man-made. This is a series of 2,000 peer-reviewed papers. A peer-reviewed paper is someone just writes a paper. A peer-reviewed paper is you write a paper, and another scientist goes, oh, that's an interesting paper. I'm going to repeat that experiment, and if I get it exactly the same, then it's peer-reviewed, right? It's a peer-reviewed paper. It's a serious thing, right? So 97% of scientists across a set of 2,000 peer-reviewed papers agree that climate change is happening and it's man-made. I saw that stat, and I thought, who are the 3%? Who are they? Trump! Yeah, he's one of them. He's also actually one of them also. Just FYI, he's voted against a lot more climate issues than anything else. FYI, if you want to know about your politicians, don't listen to them. Never listen to them. Look at their voting record and their voting history. That tells you all you need to know about your politicians. So there's a website called Skeptical Science. And what it's done is it's done some data science. It's data scienced this answer. Where what it has done is bucketed the expertise in climate science. So if the paper was written by somebody who is an expert in climate science, i.e. a climate scientist, then they put it in one bucket. And so what they discovered was that the more of an expert you were in climate science, the more you believed it's happening, it's man-made, the less of an expert you are in climate science, the less you believe it's man-made. The cleverer you are, the more you believe it's man-made. The dumber you are, the less you believe it's man-made. So climate change is happening, and it is man-made. I know there's going to be people in this audience that don't agree with me, that don't believe me. I'm not speaking to you. If these facts don't change your mind, no soundbite from me on stage will ever change your mind. I'm speaking to the people in this room who believe and who care, and who perhaps are on the verge of being galvanized into action. I'm speaking to you. So climate change is happening and it's man-made. There's another number out there called 1.5 degrees. 1.5 degrees. Pretty interesting number. So in the Paris Agreement, which happened in 2016, 196 states got together and agreed to make changes to reduce the amount of pollution they spew out, to attempt to keep the increase in temperature at 1.5 degrees. Ideally under 2, but ideally 1.5 degrees, but under 2, definitely, right? I thought 1.5 degrees. I couldn't tell a 2-degree change in temperature. Not at all, not in the slightest. Why is this number so important? It's too small to be significant, right? Well, this is what it's all about. So there's a website called Carbon Brief, which will give you a whole load of information about this. This is just one page on this website. And what it's done is it's grabbed all the different studies that have been done in this area, and it's tried to bucket them and give it in a nice infographic format. And what this is the proportion of species losing 50% of their climatic range. So if you get too hot or too cold, you can put on clothes or take clothes off, right? Animals and plants can't do that. They just die. So at a 1.5 degree change, this is what they believe that will be affected. So not it's okay. Like under 10%, right? Insects, hate insects. 2 degrees C, we're getting into double digits, right? It's not great. It's not great. We can probably survive this. Right? 4.5 degrees, pretty screwed. That's a big change for a lot of plants and animals. It's a big change. And here's the thing, to remain below or to reach our 1.5 degree target, we need to cut carbon pollution by 45% by 2030 and completely get rid of it by 2050. Completely get rid of it by 2050, right? As a minimum, that's like all your cars are electric, something like that, right? In the whole world. To remain at the 2 degrees C, we need to cut by 20% by 2030 and go down to zero by 2075. Right? These are pretty ambitious targets. We really need to do a hell of a lot, to try and achieve that. And the thing is, we're not on track. We're not remotely on track. We're not even close to being on track. We need to start reducing the amount of carbon pollution we're pumping out. We're actually still increasing we're still increasing every single year the amount of carbon pollution we're pumping out by 5%. We haven't even reached peak pollution and started to go down yet. And we're 11 years to go before that first target, right? We're not on track. That's why you're seeing people getting more and more and more angry, more agitated. We need changes made, and it's not like one country needs to do one thing. Every single country needs to make a change of like 1%, right? So no country's putting up their hands going, okay, I'll do it. No, everybody needs to do something, right? And not everybody's doing enough, so we need to push forward and make things happen. So that's all right. So what can we do as technologists? What's our impact? It's all really depressing stuff, right? But what's the positive stuff? What can you all do today to have a really positive impact? And you really can. You are some of the most influential people on this planet right now. You are doing a lot. You are all managing and building software that impacts thousands, tens of thousands, millions. There's lots that you can do as technologists. There's many different things you can, like, I don't know, stop using plastic, da-da-da-da-da. But there's one key core thing that you can have a direct impact on, and that's electricity, right? Electricity is responsible for 30% of the greenhouse gas pollution. Just electricity. And that's because 80% of the electricity is created still from the burning of fossil fuels. That's still what we're doing right now, right? So a very easy way that you can have an impact, very easy way, is just use less of it, right? In your apps. Use less of it, right? But where is it? Like, where is electricity used in your applications? Like, where is it used in the whole deployment front to back? Right? Like, if we look at our web applications from front end, network, and server, where's things being used? Did he say jQuery? Do you know what, weirdly, jQuery wouldn't be a bit of a big problem there. Probably images. Anyway. So let's look at the front one. Front end. Oh, more quizzes. I love quizzes. Some of you are going to get some answers wrong. It's going to haunt you for ages. Right? What uses more electricity to solve exactly the same problem? Or viewing a web page? Desktop or laptop? Who thinks desktop? Who thinks laptop? It's desktop. Desktop uses more electricity. A desktop is plugged in to the mains. A laptop is powered by battery. Anything these days that's powered by battery has a huge amount of effort put into it to use less electricity, not for the environment, but just to increase battery length. Lifetime. Battery lifetime. There you go. Thank you. Do you want to come up here and help me? No, it's okay. Okay. I'll refer to you when I need words or stuff. So yeah, laptop. So actually, a weird thing that's been happening, which is that actually our front ends are actually pretty efficient. Like, I might argue to you not to use fewer animations, but at the end of the day, they're not really going to have much of an impact, much of an immediate impact, I should say, on the electricity that's consumed the applications are using, because they're just so efficient these days. But there are other questions. And one thing that comes up interestingly, kind of what language? Like, what language should you be coding? I know we're all JavaScript people here. Oh, maybe, I don't know who we are. But we're all kind of JavaScript. Someone say English. Yeah, English. I'm going to show you a slide up on the screen. It was a study that was done. They've actually analyzed a whole bunch of different languages, solving exactly the same problem. And it actually has a number next to it, which is the energy efficiency of that language. And the top one will be the most energy efficient for solving the same problem. And the bottom one will be the least. And I'll put it on there and I'll pause and you'll try and find JavaScript somewhere. There it is. JavaScript right there. I don't know why TypeScript is like, that's so unfair. I think they're including the transpilation times. That's not fair at all, is it? But anyways, JavaScript's there. You can see number one is like C. That's one of my colleagues who's really into Rust. He sent me this really proudly. Rust is like right up there. It's kind of pretty, very, very energy efficient language, right? So I'm not saying like rewrite everything in Rust or C, right? But I think I'm pointing out there is like an interesting question there. Perhaps if you're exploring a kind of computationally intensive server-side project for your team, maybe explore something like C or Rust or something like that. But for those of us who don't particularly want to relearn a new language, I think WebAssembly becomes quite interesting now, doesn't it? WebAssembly, unfortunately, wasn't in that study, but it's an interesting thought. I considered WebAssembly from a performance perspective, but when you consider WebAssembly from a perhaps it's a greener solution perspective, it's quite an interesting way to look at it, right? If you compile something into WebAssembly, it should theoretically take less electricity to solve. All right. Next one, the network. It's kind of super weird when I first thought about this, because I realized the network is actually just a whole bunch of computers. That's what it really is, right? It's a whole bunch of computers connected together and switched on and using up electricity, right? It's actually one of the most impactful things you can do is actually the network. Because you'd be surprised at how much energy how much electricity is required just to transmit energy, just to transmit data across the network. Another quiz. What uses more electricity to download 1 megabyte of data on average if you were connected with Wi-Fi or mobile? Who reckons Wi-Fi? Who reckons, yeah, more? What uses more electricity for 1 megabyte? Wi-Fi. Mobile. It's mobile. Yeah. Tension. Some people got it wrong, some people got it right. So it's like mobile networks, right? You can imagine like Wi-Fi is kind of closer to you, like mobile networks on towers are like very complicated bits of equipment, there's lots going on. Mobile uses a lot more, between 4 to 8. It depends on a lot of factors, obviously, but between 4 and 8 is a good rule of thumb. That's how much more electricity it takes to download. There's loads of numbers here and it changes all the time. So if you quote me or somebody says this isn't true, like 2 years later, they're probably very much right. But this is right now a good rule of thumb number I found, which is 10 grams of carbon dioxide per megabyte, right? 10 grams of carbon dioxide per megabyte. Is that a lot? What's 10 grams of carbon dioxide? What does that look like? What does that look like? Can I hold it? What does that look like? Right? It's hard to conceptualize these numbers. It's hard to think about them in like real world terms. Then I found this website. Then we heard this one. Tweet farts. And we heard this one. So what somebody's done is they've analyzed how much carbon dioxide a single tweet creates, which is 0.2 grams of carbon dioxide a single tweet, which is exactly the same amount as a human fart. Okay? So one tweet, 0.2 grams is a human fart. So now we can look at that 10 grams in a way that we can relate to a little bit more. So that's 50 farts. So 50 farts, and you can think about it, you can imagine doing, you're kidding, am I out of time? Are you joking? Okay, fine, 50 megabytes. The average website is 2.4 megabytes, and that actually means 120 farts. Okay, there you go. REST or GraphQL, the answer is GraphQL, there you go. Let's look at the server side. I'm doing as fast as I can. This is the server side. I thought I had an hour. I'm really screwing this up, aren't I? I'm like the worst speaker. Use serverless technology for the back end, right? Because it uses less electricity, you're more efficient with your servers. That's good stuff to use. It auto-scales, you pay for anything for what you use. I'm going to be very fast, like 1 minute. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Fantastic. Perfect. It's the perfect talk. S3, Azure Blob Storage is serverless. If you're interested in doing some stuff in this space, we're building something called Nitro, which is based on Nest.js. I'm sorry, Camille, I was hoping to talk about it a bit longer. I really screwed this up. We're building something called Nitro, which lets you build serverless Nest.js applications on Azure. Come check it out. Blah. It does all this stuff. Pick one you use. Jefferson's paradox, we can skip that. It's about using less energy and electricity, not about being more efficient about it. Here's the key thing, I've got to get to this slide. I'm sorry, I've got to get to the slide. It's all about using clean energy. It's all about, the real secret to all that stuff is using you powering stuff through electricity that hasn't been created through the burning of fossil fuels. That's the magic bullet. That's the secret, right? And so there are certain cloud providers out there, Microsoft Azure and Google Cloud, both of us, we're actually carbon neutral firms. Anything you run on Azure or Google Cloud is completely offset with carbon credits, right? So kind of almost guilt-free. We actually also buy renewable electricity. Google has a little beat, we're just behind them in how much renewable energy we buy, but our data centers are powered by this stuff. If you use AWS, only these 4 regions are offset with carbon credits, everything else isn't. So that's something to do. Things there, join Climate Action Tech, say community, go join it, take a picture, and start talking to people, and take much time. Climate emergency, reduce energy, Climate Action Tech, and thank you very much for your time.
Woo! Oh wow, you almost made it on time, +10.